We've been working on an electric motorcycle for about a year rather than coding and stuff like that.
Okay. So wait, your at-home side project is you're making an electric motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you got to tell me more about this.
I've been very fortunate. The relationships and everything that I've been able to form here is awesome. The most hiccups you run into is what we call integration hell, which is...
Most people think manufacturing's dirty, boring, or dying. They're dead wrong. This is Manufacturing Runs the World. We're here to fix the misconceptions, teaching the next generation how modern manufacturing really works and why it matters more than ever.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing, Kort?
Good.
Nice. Are you in the office today?
Yeah. Yeah, is it loud?
I can hear the machines. Was that some
yeah.
CNC machines in the background?
Oh, you bet. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your background? Are you in machining? You're in engineering?
Yeah, I'm in engineering. I graduated high school in 2016. Started as a machinist. At the time, it was a company called Unipunch, which is a tool and die manufacturer. We make a C-frame tooling product line for punches and dies for various purposes. And so I started as a machine operator there and moved into kind of the programming CNC side of things for a while.
Cool.
And then I had a background just from high school experience in CAD.
You're just dabbling in CAD in high school?
We had a class that was taught my senior year, so I had taken that. And so I'd gotten a background in SolidWorks and had the CSWA exam, the associate exam for it.
Yeah.
So I'd already had that done and stuff. They needed a little help, so I was helping out there, and then moved a little more heavily into the engineering side of things for them. The company was gracious enough to offer me a deal to send me to college on a contract. So for 4 years there, I went to UW Stout mechanical engineering program. I'm working here on the summers then on my off time, and then just kind of dove headfirst in engineering ever since then.
Well, what's the craziest thing that you've worked on in your career here since 2016? Side projects or actual work projects? You ever fist fight with a machinist?
Nothing like that. Thank God. I think I would be humiliated. So it's probably best to keep that out for me. Well, for work projects, it's definitely the one I'm working on now. It's I wouldn't say it's crazy. It's very, very involved. We have a high run part. It's essentially a nut. So it's a different shaped nut with a threaded hole in it, but the volume is so high and the margins on something so simple are so small that we're really looking for any way we can to make any bit of extra money on it or cut time out of it.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty complex machine right now that we have set up, just pushing out about twice as many parts through this system that we're designing as you're getting through like a mill or anything like that, which is how we're currently running. So that's been pretty involved. It's a 6-month project and we're in month 4 of it at the moment. So we're starting to physically get things put together finally and starting to run some tests and things like that. So I'm sure we'll start to see where some of the problems that inevitably come up will start rearing their heads, but we'll figure them out.
Well, did you set up any automations and stuff to kind of help with some of that, or do you still have to do some manual involvement?
It's kind of an interesting concept, but it gets a threaded hole put in it and some chamfering stuff, and then it actually gets like a part mark and deformation stuff on one side of it. So that my side of things is the deformation stuff.
So the crazy part is just that this one project you're learning probably 20 new things.
And that's my favorite part about being an engineer is, especially a mechanical engineer, that the subject's so broad that your day-to-day can look quite a bit different, I guess you would call it. So an umbrella of a bunch of smaller companies through the years, I guess. So when I started, it was just Unipunch, which is punch and die tooling. We've now expanded a lot of different areas. So as far as product lines go, we have Noble X. We have a company called New Buthlane that makes pavement rollers. Over the years, we've expanded to all these different areas, but we're all under only a few roofs.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, and sharing machinery and stuff like that.
Do you think that's the most efficient way to work, is have the engineers and machinists within walking distance of each other to like yell at each other about stuff? And
I think so. One of the big things that I've noticed that helps an environment like this is good communication and relationships with people like the machinists and quality control, especially when it comes to right out of college. I noticed there's a bit of a disconnect between what an engineer would put on a drawing and what a machinist or a quality control person would want to see in a drawing.
Yeah.
A good tip for anybody probably would be, when you're in a drawing and making a drawing for a part that you want made, to run it by the machinist or quality control to see what they're going to be looking at and what they would need to see.
Yeah.
Because what they're going off of for their origin or whatever they're programming off of is probably different than what you're seeing is where it needs to be dimensions. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's nice being able to walk out the door and ask them that sort of thing. So.
Sure. You have a smirk on your face like you learned the hard way a couple times.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah. You'll get chewed out sometimes, but it's all in good fun. Something you got to learn through the years, I suppose. Thing is, what I do here is exactly what I do at home, which is just work myself into projects and try to finish them. So the end goal for me is just keep having fun building stuff.
Right. You seem like you enjoy it. So
Yeah.
why stop? You're just a maker at heart.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course.
Well, if you're doing stuff on the side and at home, surely there's some resources that you use to kind of help you along the way. What online resources do you use to kind of stay up with the industry?
YouTube is huge. Even at work, it's the greatest learning resource I can think of at the moment. There's a lot of good information on there and it's really easy to find. When I'm doing things with CAD at home, I'll use like the website, like Onshape, for instance, which is just an online-based CAD software.
I think they make like a SolidWorks for makers.
I think they do now too. I haven't looked into it. I'd be curious to know more about that. And I do think it's probably the best tool that I've used as far as CAD goes.
Well, what's the process then if you run into issues?
2 or 3 aspects of a project that you run into issues with. One is a clear design aspect that you completely missed or something like that. You need to remake a part or several parts or hopefully not the entire system based on one concept that you overlooked or something. Another aspect of it is coding. Coding takes a long time sometimes to proof. For instance, right now for this system, I went through a little bit of already with my e-stop side of the program and just what I want to happen when the e-stop gets pressed, besides for what you legally have to do. But it's going through and making sure that at any point during the code that e-stop is going to work. And it can hide in kind of tricky places. So you really have to be diligent. And sometimes if there is something wrong with your code and you finally find that there's something wrong with your code, it can take a very long time to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a big part of it. So those 2 things for sure.
Is there any place where AI helps with coding, or do you use that on a regular basis?
I haven't tried it for coding yet. It kind of scares me to try. I'm sure it's better at it than I am already. But yeah, I'd be interested to try that. There's also a lot coming out now on AI integration with CAD design.
Yeah.
Specifically SolidWorks. So I'm curious what that's going to look like as well. I'm sure that can cut out quite a bit of time in the design process. So I'm excited to see where that goes. But no, I haven't gotten the chance to use any of it yet, other than sometimes it helps me write some emails.
Yeah, I have it do tons of research for me. It's like my virtual assistant.
It's great at generating ideas. So
compared to
sure.
when I used to spend a full day or 2 trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, and it's never going to miss a semicolon or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm starting to get an idea of your at-home projects. You got some Arduino, little computers and robots going with some 3D printed parts. And
oh yeah, we've been working on an electric motorcycle for about a year. So that one's been a lot of fun, but it's a lot of fabrication stuff on the side of that, rather than coding and stuff like that. So that's all kind of new to me too. I can weld a bit, but
okay. So wait, your at-home side project is you're making an electric motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to tell me more about this.
It's a 75 Harley. It's technically a dirt bike, but when I bought it, it was really cheap. But it had a locked up engine and stuff, and a little out there to restore it. So I'm like, this would be a cool one to make electric. Just because I'm an engineer and I suppose I could probably make it work. So
yeah,
put some money into a custom-made battery and a hub motor kit for it. And and then it's a lot of fabrication of like the battery box and then getting the frame repowder coated and fabricating brakes and things like that. And that's kind of what I'm in the middle of right now.
So it's just been smooth sailing for you this whole time.
Yeah. No, it has been actually really good. It's a great place to work. So I've been very fortunate. The relationships and everything that I've been able to form here is awesome. So very fortunate. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty smooth sailing. It's say the most hiccups you run into is what we call integration hell, which is where you find out the spots where your project's starting to go wrong and you have to buckle down and work through those.
Yeah.
Try to get the project to work. And it's a lot of unforeseen stuff. So that's kind of more where we run into issues than it is just things that go horribly wrong.
Is there anything more you want to say about your company or your bosses?
They've done a lot for me. Specifically, the owner of the company is the one who put me through college and everything. And he's always been very, very generous to me. So
yeah,
nothing but good things to say about them. Wish you nothing but good luck on your podcast. It's very cool. I listened to quite a few episodes. So.
Awesome. Yeah. I appreciate your time.
Perfect. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Kort.
Yep. Good to meet you.